Peace, family, peace, peace, peace. Okay, so today's video is pretty much I broke up with him because I couldn't change him. So, few years back, okay, I got into this relationship with this guy that I met while I was working, okay? And in the beginning of me and him being in a relationship, prior actually of us being in a relationship, I noticed that a lot of people who worked with us, they will often, make fun of the guy. Okay. They would say things like he was slow, he was stupid, just, making fun of him. And I looked at him and, sometimes you can see like so much potential in someone, but they don't see it within themselves. And so you could try everything to try to, show them like you better than this. You don't deserve to be talked to like this. But because they don't see it within themselves, sometimes they may laugh it off, or they may just be like nonchalantly like, yeah, I get what you're saying, like shaking their head. But in actuality, they don't believe it. Okay. So the guy who I had got in a relationship with, first of all, I had settled. Okay. I was in a relationship with someone else who was in prison. Okay. And my self image, honey, it was so tainted. It was so low. I didn't feel like I was lovable. I didn't feel like I could have, certain types of guys. I didn't feel like, a guy would want me because I had children. And oftentimes that would result in me settling for guys that, who also had the same self image as me, right? Low self esteem, no confidence, hardly, or anything like that. So being in this relationship from the beginning, it was like very chaotic. Okay. Like I said, me and a guy worked together. So his brother, who was older than him, okay, and I was older than the guy who I was in a relationship with. And his brother didn't like me, okay, once he found out that me and his brother was dating, because his brother's friend used to try to talk to me, okay? And so it was chaotic. The brother and his friend, they would be spreading rumors about me like around the store. I felt, uncomfortable going to work at times because I felt like, the rumors that they were spreading, they weren't true and all these different things, okay? But how did I, or why did I break up with the guy? Because I couldn't change him. First of all, I think sometimes like we try to change people and we are not even doing the work on ourselves. Like I didn't know anything about self love. I mean, I would get dressed up and get in a mirror and be like, "Oh, girl, you look good," right? But that was because I had makeup on and I was dressed up. Okay, I probably could not have gotten in the mirror. Matter of fact, I couldn't have gotten in the mirror and told myself, that I was beautiful, that I was loved without materialized things. And the reason why I said I would not get in the mirror or couldn't, because I didn't. Okay. I started affirming myself probably about 6 years ago. Okay. I started affirming myself. So getting back to the story. So me and this guy, he moved in with me. I allowed him to move in. And at that time, I had two children. I was desperate. Honey, I was so desperate. Okay. And when he moved in with me, everything was going okay at first. Right. But I had seen some things, like when you settle and you like, damn, maybe why you settle, you start asking yourself, like, why I settle for this, right? Like, why I'm with this guy when I could have had something better, right? Almost like a settlement at a court. And I used to be like, why did I settle? Because it was times that, you start looking at the person sideways, like, why I'm with you, right? Because that's because their self image of yours. And so I never forget. I was watching Toya and Memphis. Okay, it was a reality show. I would be so fascinated with reality shows because I didn't want to face my reality, like what was going on in my life. So it was entertaining to watch other people's lives because my life, I felt like it wasn't too much going on. And also, I was running from my reality. I didn't care for my reality. And how you gonna change something that you don't, one, you're not even aware of, but two, that you running away from. Okay? And so being in a relationship with him, okay, I will watch reality shows, I would shop, just, trying to fill all these voids, looking for all these vices, different vices to complete me, to fulfill me, all these different things. So watching Toya and Memphis, okay. So Memphis was about 6'2", honey. I don't know if you've seen Toya and Memphis, okay. It was on, I think, BET, or was it VH1? One of them. And Memphis, he was tall, 6'2", okay, handsome, dark skin. Woo wee, honey. Built, slim, but like still like cut out. Oh, and this guy who I was dating, okay, he was probably about 5'7". Okay, I'm 5'2", so he was about 5'7". He was like very, very pale. Okay, like he was white, but like very pale. His hair was like really, really long. And here I'm looking at this chocolate brother. Okay, short haircut with waves. Okay, nice cut, honey. He was just it. Okay, he was just it. But my self image, you know, it was like I didn't think that I could possibly be in a relationship with someone like that. And if I was, it most like all these different things, right, going on in your subconscious mind, that's what you're going to attract. And so I was wrong for telling a guy to leave because how could I get upset because I settled and I was impatient? So what you have to understand is the person that you want is out there, okay? And maybe your test is to learn how to be by yourself. Learn how to appreciate yourself. Learn how to give yourself love, okay? And maybe there is something that once you grow in that aspect, then you are able to attract your ideal guy. But maybe at first, you gotta go through, you know, being by yourself, getting to know thyself, okay? And that is something definitely that I've been doing, working on myself and not settling because I already know that, if I'm interested in a guy or not. Okay. I remember also it was this one guy who I had met. I was on my way going shopping for my grandbaby. And I remember as I was, going into the store, it was this guy who actually was walking along the side of me. And I had no clue, honey. I was into my headphones. I was, into my own thing. And the guy, he was talking to me, like he tapped me on the shoulder, and then I was like, and he asked for my number. And a part of me was like, all right, give it to him, like to, try this thing out, like dating and, stuff, whatever it was like that. But I felt like he wasn't the type of guy that I would be in a relationship with. And so what wound up happening was later on that day, he had texted me And instead of wasting his time and my time, right, I told him, I was like, look, I'm not interested in you like that. You really not my type. Now some may be like, well, why you gave him your number? Because a part of me was like just try this thing out, right? And then another part was like, don't pursue or continue to talk to someone if you already know they not the person that you desire to be with, right? And so that's what happened. And at first I felt bad because I was like, damn, like is like, you may have hurted his feelings telling him, he not your ideal guy or whatever it was like that. But I felt like if I tell him now, as opposed to stringing him along and then trying to make him into something that he's not, okay, then that would be unfair to him and I. So life is really about lessons and going through certain things in order for you to see that you don't want to attract that any longer, and you don't want that to be showing up at your door knocking with the 4-4. Okay. All right, so with that being said, I love you guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I catch you guys on the next one.